public-funded documentary about Aaron Swartz, the late computer prodigy and digital rights activist, is set for release. The co-founder of the popular social networking service Reddit fought for a free and open internet. But a US government case against the programmer is thought to have driven him to suicide at the age of 26. RT's Marina Portnaya spoke to the director of the documentary about Swartz's legacy.
Freedoms our country had been built on would be suddenly deleted. I couldn't let that happen.
He was known as the online Robin Hood. The Internet's Own Boy is an independent documentary that looks at the life of a prodigy, programmer, and activist.
Stop sober!
Aaron Swartz fearlessly fought against government efforts to censor the internet. But it was the relentless federal prosecution against him that supporters say caused Swartz to commit suicide in January 2013 at the age of 26.
Aaron Swartz was not a criminal.
As a teenager, Swartz helped build RSS coding and web application framework. He was the technical architect of Creative Commons and one of the co-founders of Reddit.
A significant turn in Aaron's life happened when they sold Reddit to Condé Nast. He became a very rich 19-year-old, and instead of continuing along that kind of startup path, he made a really decisive turn towards political organizing and social justice issues, and used his skills really in the service of public interest.
And what he cared about was making public information truly public, that is, free and accessible to everyone.
It's certainly a part of his nature. It's a part of the fabric of his being, and you see that in the film right from the beginning. This idea that it's not just enough to live in the world, that you can push beyond that you can question your surroundings, question the status quo.
And here, on RT, Swartz would appear as a frequent guest, questioning more about government surveillance and the erosion of privacy.
And in fact, they've provided no evidence of the Patriot Act successfully being used to catch any terrorists. They admit that the courts have said what they're doing is illegal. And now they want Congress to rubber stamp it anyway.
Aaron was fiercely passionate, driven by justice, but also filled with humility. Every time he visited our New York bureau for interviews, he was gracious and incredibly kind. The last time I spoke with Aaron, we discussed cyber warfare and the vulnerabilities citizens face online. 3 months later, he was gone.
Despite his tragic death, Swartz's story was far from over. Through a Kickstarter campaign, a documentary about his life raised nearly $94,000 in funding from supporters and donors.
It showed us that there was a real community of people that wanted to hear this story and that were outraged and angry and about what had happened to Aaron, but also, I think, inspired by him.
Inspired to remember a young man who helped build the internet and spent his life fighting to keep it in the hands of the public. Marina Portnaya, RT, New York.